I think in logistics, I think that is where you need to think about all the complexity, where is the cargo? What kind of equipment are we talking about? What is the commodity?
I applied for the job because it looked interesting online. And I was lucky enough to get an interview and eventually an offer. And it's brought me to where I am today.
I wanted to do some training program. And I also wanted to travel, but not going like crazy far away. So I thought this thing was maybe a good idea, traveling in Europe for 2 years.
The voices of current and former trainees. From DFDS, I'm Julie Broberg, and this is The Ripple Effect.
Okay, are you ready?
Or, did I say training grade? You got that. Sorry.
Why not?
All right, we are rolling, right?
It's on tape now.
Exploring the people and maritime stories that make a difference.
And I'm Jason Luke, the co-host of this branded podcast from DFDS. In this 4-part miniseries, we will focus on the DFDS Trainee program.
DFDS is one of the largest ferry operators in Europe. What is it DFDS stands for again, Jason?
The company's name is an abbreviation of Det Forenede Dampskibsselskab. That's Danish for the United Steamship Company.
Well, anyway, each year we take on 6 graduates who've just finished their bachelor's degrees in things like economics, commerce, maritime studies, or logistics. And they get to try out 2 positions in the company, one in shipping and one in logistics. And we send them out to 2 different locations over 2 years.
That's 1 year each place.
Yeah, that's 1 year each place. And they also participate in a program at the Danish Shipping Academy where they meet trainees from other companies. Becoming a DFDS trainee is quite frankly not easy. Hundreds apply for the 6 positions that we offer annually. We're a company and an industry that requires the best.
And to give you a taste of what it's like, we gathered a number of the current trainees and asked them about their experience. So, imagine, if you will, a studio with 5 or 6 bright young faces, all sharing their initial experiences. And you will have to imagine, because the trainee program automatically sends the chosen few to different foreign ports, and they are not in the same spot.
We have a Greek in Ireland,
A Belgian in England,
a Norwegian in the Netherlands,
a Brit in Sweden,
and a Spaniard in Germany. Now, you've got to admit that's a pretty diverse geographical basis for a chat show.
It's sort of a logistics nightmare, even for one of the biggest logistics companies in Northern Europe, unless we thankfully can use Skype. Episode 1. Working.
We start with our Norwegian in the Netherlands.
Well, my name is Elizabeth. I'm 27.
Could you make up your mind?
But yeah, I'm 27 and I'm actually educated an engineer in Norway, where I'm also from.
So Elizabeth, thank you for joining us. What are you working on these days?
This year I'm sitting in logistics in Vlaardingen.
Okay.
So what I'm doing now is, instead of filling up a ship with containers and trailers, I'm finding goods so I can fill up containers and trailers. And then I ship them.
Okay.
So I'm basically, this year I am the customer that I had last year. So it's very interesting, and I think it's a very good thing that you get the perspective of both sides, because when I was working last year in shipping, I was really frustrated with logistics, and this year, as I'm sitting in logistics, I get really frustrated with shipping.
Okay.
So I think that's a really unique selling point.
Yeah, it's definitely an advantage to see it from both sides of the table.
Next, we meet Gonzalo from Spain, and he's working in Kiel this year. So, Gonzalo, what are you up to?
Yeah, well, basically, right now I'm working on the bookings department on check-in. So on the bookings, we just talk to the customers to create the bookings for the vessel, like just to book, for example, 1 container for this day, or 2 containers for tomorrow, 3 containers for the day after.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also working on the check-in department, which basically means like the truck drivers come to us and all this paperwork and
That sounds pretty fun.
Busola, you're a first-year trainee in our logistics office in Gothenburg. What are you working on these days?
So in this rotation I'm doing, I get the opportunity to move around different departments every month. So far I've been to the intermodal Italy department, and that is working with trains, and no one else in the office works with trains. And I'm currently now working on like a special project with the Ghent office and Volvo with the Volvo V60 model.
Ah, okay.
And it's basically just sending the bodies from the Volvo factory here near the port down to Ghent, which is again next to the port, next to the DFDS office.
Yeah.
I know I've been given lots of responsibilities. I mean, I had my own clients last year in Groningen that I had to deal with every day, and working as a full employee here as well.
That's Alicia. She's from Belgium, but she's working in Dover throughout the year.
But my real job is mainly in the office, because on terminal is the real operation. So like checking in the freight drivers or loading the ships and stuff.
So how many ships come in and out a day? Is it several a day, or is it a couple a week, or what is it?
No.
It's 54 departures a day.
54? Good.
Because we have one departure every 2 hours to Dunkirk and one every 1 hour and a half to Calais from Dover. That's the real operation. What we are doing here is like making all the bookings, checking the paperwork and stuff. So I don't spend a lot of time on the terminal, but we are on the phone with them all the time, and we know them and they know us. So
We'll be back with more about the DFDS Trainee program right after this.
Hey, what are you working on?
Shh, this is a library. I'm working on my bachelor.
Bachelor, just like me. Sorry, the world is your oyster.
Oysters? We come from the sea.
Then, the sea is your oyster.
Yeah, but what do you mean?
Well, from now till the end of March, you can apply for a DFDS traineeship.
What if you don't like oysters? Or even the sea?
No worries, it's management. You don't go to the sea. 2 years in 2 different ports where you learn and contribute to what makes the world go around. Ships.
DFDS? Isn't one of their ships called Pearl?
Yes, Copenhagen to Oslo route.
Is that the oyster connection?
You do really think differently. They will like you.
How about you? Move your boundaries, move your life, move your career. Go to dfds.com/trainee, but do so by March 30th.
Welcome back. Alicia, you're working in shipping this year in Dover, but you have a degree in logistics. Tell us about that.
okay, so I first studied the business engineering, what it's called in Belgium. It was like majoring in logistics. And then after that, I decided to do an extra year in maritime science. So that's where I started being interested in shipping. And so I first studied logistics and then decided to get a broader aspect of it with maritime science in the shipping part. But I still am not sure if I want to go further in shipping or in logistics. So I thought this was a great way of getting more inputs on what it is really about, both sides of the business.
Okay, let's back up for a minute and talk about this distinction between shipping and logistics. I mean, what is the difference? We asked 2 of our former trainees who now work in the business, and they had a pretty good explanation.
It doesn't really matter if you're shipping or logistics. I think it's just what are you working with.
That was Armin, a former trainee who is now in the business.
Is it a ship? Okay, you have these capabilities. Is it a train? You have these capabilities. And as far as road transportation goes, okay, you have these type of trailers, trucks, have different conditions. Ships are a bit more global.
Yeah, I get that. But Mustafa, you're on the logistics side of the business. What's your take?
The difference between shipping and logistics, in my opinion, is that from a business perspective, I think in shipping we are only a key-to-key service. So we know we go from A to B, while I think in logistics, I think that is really where you get your hands dirty, because that is where you need to think about all the complexity, where is the cargo, what kind of equipment are we talking about, what is the commodity and how it's supposed to be transported, and try to take these complexities and combine it in order to provide cargo to the vessels.
Okay, now that we understand that a little better, let's get back to our current trainees.
It's definitely positive to have tried both sides of it, because I like logistics in the sense that it's very stressful because it's a lot of pressure and you always have your customer yelling, where is the truck and why are you late and stuff. But at the same time, it's always different stuff, and there is not a day without an issue, but that means it's also exciting. You have to solve that issue, and so it's always different. Like you never know which truck is going to break down or, I don't know, be stuck in some traffic jam. But I think you also learn a lot from having to deal with those yelling customers.
Shipping and logistics. The chance to try both isn't the only interesting thing about the program. That and more is also why Maria from Greece applied.
So the first year you are in the shipping division, and then on the second year on the logistics division. What that was for me. And you basically learn as many things as possible. You have responsibilities, you have tasks, you learn how to be a team member, you learn how to have deadlines, how to find out your way by yourself. And besides that, we also do the commercial shipping program that is from the Danish Shipping Academy. And I think that was also a very important reason why I applied and why I liked that program.
As Maria mentions, at DFDS, we send our trainees to the Danish Shipping Academy, where they meet trainees from approximately 30 other companies, having a chance to learn more about maritime law, shipping, and chartering, as well as build up a network that will serve them in their careers for years to come. We sat down with Bent Bergsten, the head of the Danish Shipping Academy, to hear more about the program.
Danish Shipping Academy and the shipping training program, which is called the Commercial Shipping Program, started in 2012 and have been running since then. And we have been starting up 30 to 40 trainees every year and graduating almost the same amount every year since 2012.
Let me ask, how long is the program?
The program is a 2-year training program combined with the trainees staying in the companies on the job training, and then going together on 3 modules for those 2 years. And between the modules where they all meet, they will be following e-learning as a part of the program.
Yeah, what does the course cover?
They will learn about all the matters that they will need in the job as shipping trainees in the beginning, and then charters and operators and so on in the companies. For instance, maritime law, maritime economics, cultural awareness, negotiation and communication techniques, ship knowledge. So that's some of the subjects they will touch upon and go deeper into during those 2 years.
And are there any non-academic benefits of the program?
A big part of the program is that the trainees will meet, and a team of 35 trainees will consist of probably 10 to 11 different nationalities. So they have the opportunity to do a lot of networking and make a lot of contacts to trainees in other companies while the 2 years training is going on. So that's a great advantage and some of the things that the trainees really appreciate and like.
We'll hear more from Bent in an upcoming episode. In the meantime, we get a lot of questions about the program, so we spoke to Dorte in HR about some of the practical details.
Hi, I'm Dorte van der Linden, and I'm Talent Acquisition Manager at DFDS. That means I'm actually responsible for the recruitment and for the trainee program at DFDS. We're looking for people that have natural curiosity and eagerness to learn more about shipping and logistics. Our trainees come from a bachelor in shipping and logistics or economics. When they're applying, they're in the finishing stage of their education. The application process starts the 1st of February and runs till the end of March. And in April, we will invite for Skype interviews, so that will be the first line of interviews. And in May, we will be inviting for face-to-face interviews in Copenhagen.
Dorte will be answering frequently asked questions in every episode, so if you didn't get an answer to your question, tune in next time. You can also write to us at social@dfds.com. That's social, SOCIAL, @dfds.com, and we'll try to include your question in a future episode. The next podcast is all about adapting to life as a trainee. Maria, our second-year trainee from Greece working in logistics in Dublin this year, shares with us her golden rules.
Get involved as much as possible and not wait. Just go out there and try to do as many things as you can. Ask. It's never bad to ask. When you enter in an industry, in a business, you're going to find yourself not knowing. But only if you ask, only if you insist, then you're going to find the correct answers.
We'll give the last word to Alicia.
Go for it and don't be afraid too much. Just go for it and then you'll see when you get there.
Waiting long?
said 10 minutes 5 minutes ago. Now it says 8.
That's life in the not-so-fast lane, right? Did you look at dfds.com/trainee?
Are you trying to pick me up or get rid of me?
No. Both, maybe?
Well, I'm interested. And if you're paying, both of us can go for a drink.
Super.
That would be nice. I'm starving.
I said super, not supper.
Where did you hear about this traineeship?
In a podcast, The Ripple Effect. You've just missed the first one.
I won't miss the application opportunity.
Or the bus. Here it is.
How about you? You don't want to miss out. Our aim is not to attract more applicants for the trainee program, it's to attract the right applicants. By gaining insight, you make the first decision. Go to dfds.com/trainee, but do so by March 30th. The Ripple Effect is produced by me, Julie Broberg, and Richard Lightbody. Recorded and edited by Jason Luke at Mastertone Studio in beautiful downtown Copenhagen. Ad voices by Agna and Antonio Garcia.
Music was made by Morten Thorhaug from Cart Park North, Frank Hasselstrøm, and me, Jason Luke. Graphics are by David Earl.
Art direction by David Earl and Søren Lund. Thank you to our trainees, Maria and Ignastu,
Elizabeth Andreasen,
Gonzalo Parente,
Busola Adiaga,
and Alicia Chevalier for sharing your experiences with us. A very special thanks to Christina Johannesson. And Reika Kransu is like a ray of sunshine on an otherwise cloudy day. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening in.